Aegeus was the king of the great city of Athens. He was rich. He was powerful. He was respected. But there was one thing that made him very sad. He had no son. Aegeus had married many women, but none of them gave him a male heir. Without a son, he did not know who would rule Athens after him. This worried him day and night. So one day, Aegeus traveled far away to the sacred city of Delphi. There he visited the oracle. The oracle was a woman named Pythia, who spoke the words of the gods. Aegeus asked her, "What must I do to have a son?" Pythia answered in a strange way, "Do not open your wine sack before you return to Athens." The words were dark and confusing. Aegeus did not understand them at all. He left Delphi more confused than before. On his way home, he stopped at the palace of King Pittheus of Troezen. Pittheus was old, wise, and very clever. When he heard the words of the oracle, he understood them at once. Pittheus wanted his family to be connected to the king of Athens, so he made Aegeus drink a lot of wine. That night, Aegeus slept with Pittheus's daughter, Aethra. But that was not the only strange thing that happened that night. While Aethra slept, the goddess Athena appeared in her dream. She said, "Go to the beach. Make an offering to the gods." Aethra woke up and obeyed. She went to the sea at night. As she stepped into the water, the god Poseidon rose from the waves. He joined with her, and she became pregnant by a god as well as a man. So the child she carried had two fathers, Aegeus, a mortal king, and Poseidon, the god of the sea. Before Aegeus left Troezen, he spoke to Aethra in secret. "If you give birth to a boy," he said, "do not tell anyone that I am his father." Then Aegeus lifted a huge rock. Under it, he placed his sandals and his sword. "When the boy is strong enough to lift this rock," he said, "give him these things. Then send him to Athens. He will come to me and claim his place." Aegeus returned to Athens. Aethra stayed in Troezen. In time, she gave birth to a beautiful and strong baby boy. She named him Theseus. Theseus was raised by his grandfather, King Pittheus. The old king taught him many things: how to speak wisely, how to fight bravely, and how to respect the gods. Theseus grew fast. He was kind, but strong, calm, but brave. One day, when Theseus was still a small child, a great hero came to visit. It was Heracles, the strongest man in the world. When the children heard that Heracles had arrived, they ran to see him. They rushed into the room where he was staying. Heracles had taken off his lion skin cloak and left it on a chair. The skin came from a real lion he had killed. The children saw the lion's skin and screamed. They thought it was a real lion. They ran away in fear. But Theseus did not run. He looked at the lion and felt no fear in his heart. He grabbed a small sword from a guard and ran forward. "I will protect everyone," he cried. He attacked the lion's skin bravely. Everyone laughed when they saw it was only a cloak, but they did not laugh at Theseus. Heracles looked at the boy and smiled. "This child has a hero's heart," he said. "His name will be remembered among the stars." Years passed. Theseus became tall and strong. When he was 16 years old, His mother, Aethra, led him to the great rock. She told him the truth. "This rock hides the proof of your father," she said. Theseus pushed with all his strength. The rock moved. He lifted it. Under it were sandals and a sword. "These belonged to your father, King Aegeus of Athens," Aethra said. "You must go to him and take your place as prince. His grandfather offered him a ship. You can sail safely to Athens," he said. But Theseus shook his head. "There is no honor," he said, "in arriving without dust on my sandals and blood on my sword. The road to Athens is full of monsters and criminals. I will walk that road. I will make it safe." So Theseus kissed his mother goodbye. He thanked his grandfather, and he began his journey on foot. The road was dangerous. First, he met a man named Periphetes. Periphetes killed travelers with a heavy club. Theseus fought him and killed him with his own weapon. Then he met Sinis, who bent pine trees and tied people to them, tearing them apart. Theseus used Sinis's own trick against him. Then came a giant named Sciron, who pushed travelers into the sea to be eaten by a monster turtle. Theseus pushed Sciron instead. Again and again, Theseus faced evil men, and every time he defeated them, people began to talk. "A young hero walks the road," they said. "He makes the land safe." At last, Theseus reached Athens. King Aegeus did not know him. He did not recognize his own son. The king's new wife, Medea, was a witch. She feared that Theseus would take power from her son, so she tried to poison him. At a great feast, she gave Theseus a cup of poisoned wine, but when Theseus lifted his cup, Aegeus saw the sword at his side. He knew that sword. It was the sword he had hidden under the rock. Aegeus knocked the cup from Theseus's hand. "My son!" he cried. "You are my son!" They embraced with tears in their eyes. Medea ran away in fear. Theseus was now Prince of Athens. But his story was only beginning. Soon he would face the Minotaur. He would travel to Crete. He would love Ariadne. He would become one of the greatest heroes of Greece. But that is another story. For now, remember this. Theseus was not born a hero. He chose to become one. He chose the hard road. He chose danger. He chose courage. And because of that, his name still lives today